Fire is contained, Pheladi, but has it completely been put out?
Morning, Tula. So not quite yet. Firefighters we've just spoken to say that they've contained about 60 to 70% of this fire. What they're battling now is the flare-ups atop the mountain and in between the various mountain ranges here in the Overstrand. But I'm just going to ask my colleague Crescendo Low to show you a little bit of what we're seeing at the moment up in the mountain. So it looks like smoke, but there are little fire flare-ups if you look very, very closely, and that's what firefighters will be focusing on today. So they actually told us that they can't get ground teams up because it's just too high up. They are rather going to focus on using helicopters today to try and water bomb. Now earlier we saw those helicopters actually go up for the first time. They're going to get their water and start with those operations in a few minutes, we believe.
So the key question then, I suppose, Pheladi, is to what extent is this fire threatening property and lives? I mean, just recently we had that situation in Wuppertal, and who can forget the Knysna fires that we saw?
Yeah. Sure. So at the moment, firefighters have assured us that lives aren't at risk because it's not low-lying anymore. They had closed the roads along the R44 as a precaution, but those have been reopened as of 9 a.m. because it's not a significant threat. The people who actually are in quite grave danger are the firefighters themselves. We know that ground teams that went up yesterday had to hike for about 4.5 hours, and they didn't even reach the fire, at which point they had to turn around after a strenuous 24-hour shift, having not done what they hoped to. So they are the people who actually face some kind of danger. We know there have been some evacuations, again as a precaution, from Koggelsbaai Resort, but no one's life was in grave danger, and that property wasn't directly affected by the fire at all. So for now, people are just being told to stay calm, but on high alert in case the situation changes. We know that winds here can fan the flames and things can get out of control quite quickly, so people just need to stay on their Twitter, on their Facebook, and listen to the radio perhaps to hear what authorities are saying about what they should be doing where this fire is concerned.
Pheladi, I find it extraordinary that we're talking about the same fire that started some good 7 days ago in the area of Koggelsbaai, and there was another one that was raging at Betty's Bay as well. So I mean, it's just extraordinary. What is the damage in the wake of the fire? I know you're saying that right now it doesn't pose much of a threat, but what is the trail that it has left?
Yeah. So initially when the fire started, I think in Betty's Bay on New Year's Day, some houses were damaged, unfortunately. But since then it has just been vegetation, but vast tracts of vegetation that have been affected. So I know when you looked up into those mountains, you could see they are quite big, and they span quite a big area across this R44. A lot of it has been high up in the mountain, but unfortunately some homes were affected when it initially started. And interestingly to us, the thing that started this fire, or the thing suspected to have started this fire, was a firework on New Year's Eve. And the person believed to be behind firing that firework is actually appearing in court today for contravening the Nature Conservation Act for firing that firework and allegedly starting this fire.
Yeah, absolutely. So just a final one then. The effort technically today, is it on fire bombing from the air, or will the firefighters again attempt to hike to the particular point where they can actually fight the fire?
They've told us it's actually not worth it trying to send ground teams. It just puts them in too much danger and will jeopardize the team. So they are working just with the water bombing and the helicopters today. Fire trucks also can't get up. It's too risky. So they're going to do as much as they can in the air throughout the day.
All right, thank you so much for that. That is eNCA's Pheladi Sethusa out in Koggelsbaai watching those fires that have been raging for a good 7 days.